Imagine having to move from Italy to the US, and the most stressful thing you have to do is not even the visa, but it's moving this right here. This is Ollie, and a lot of people requested me to show him more in the videos. So today we're gonna talk about how I moved Ollie from Italy to the US, because Ollie is an Italian dog. Look at there. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jess and I moved from Italy to the US almost 2 years ago. If you're not new here, welcome back and thank you for watching my videos. And as I said in the beginning, this is Oliver and he's my dog, and he moved from Italy with me when I moved here. We got Ollie when he was 3 months old. He's a golden retriever, turning 4 next year. When he was 1.5, we had to move to the US March 2024. So we had to do a lot of paperwork for him to be moved here. It was pretty funny because I don't know if you know it, but dogs need a passport when traveling countries. They also need various vaccines like the rabies vaccine. And for coming to the US, my vet suggested me to also get blood work done for him. The most stressful part was actually moving him because we had to hire a company. Just so you know, this is not any sponsor of any kind. This is just my experience, and I wanted to talk about how I moved my dog because I am in multiple Facebook groups where I see people that are ready to give up their dogs as soon as they have to move states or cities. I know life can happen. I know it can be stressful for the dog. Imagine making a dog fly 10 hours on a plane. That's what Ollie went through. So yeah, we got Ollie and then we had to move countries. Our plan was to stay in Italy and it changed. That's why we had to put him through that stressful move. We could have made him go on the plane with us, in the cargo, but we had a lot of bags. It was a military move. My husband was getting out of the military, so all of our belongings were in bags. It was terrible, but whatever. So we could have made him go with us, but we decided to not do that because it would have been stressful for us and for him. And I also had to go through my first entry in the US with immigrant status because I can do a separate video about it. I got my visa approved from the American consulate and I had to step on American soil, and the first stop on American soil that was gonna do, I needed to go give all my documents. I don't know if anybody of you guys already went through this process, but when I did my interview and stuff, they gave me a big huge package full of papers that I don't know what they are because this package has to stay closed and you just have to give them at the border patrol, I guess it's called, at the airport as soon as you arrive in the US. So I had all that going on. So we were like, okay, we're just gonna hire a company. Moving Ollie with a company was expensive because it was around $5,000, I would say, and they came to get him 2 days before we left. When I gave him away to this stranger, I bursted into tears because I was depressed, honestly. I have a very unhealthy attachment to him, so I really don't trust anybody that is not family to be with him, and sometimes not even family. Like, it's super hard to explain. I feel like I have a very weird obsession over him, so I was really worried that the car could have gotten in a crash or it was gonna run away and we couldn't find him anymore, so we put an air tag on him. But the company was sending us pictures basically every couple of hours. So we left. We were in Vicenza, Italy. I don't know if any of you has been stationed there, but there's an American military base there. That's how and why I met my husband. He was gonna be driven from Vicenza to Venice, and then from Venice he was gonna take a plane and go to Poland, and then from Poland he was gonna go to the US, to Chicago. Before he could get on the plane, we had to take him to the vet to get a health certificate. It's called the Certificate of Good Standing Health. So basically the vet would say, okay, this dog, he's healthy and is good to travel. And only for that paper it was like $80. To not talk about all the vaccines and the certificate, it was around $500. It was disgusting about prices. That's terrible. So going back, he went from Poland to the US. He went to Chicago, and it was a very snowy day when he arrived, so they canceled his flight to Texas. He had to arrive in Colorado, in Denver. So the company let us know that they couldn't get on any plane and they had to drive from Chicago to Colorado. Colorado. So he left 2 days before we left, and he arrived 3 days after we arrived. So he basically stayed away a whole week. He left on a Tuesday and I got there on Sunday. That was really sad, but I was so happy to see him. I was so relieved. Even if the company would send us pictures and stuff, not only he's a very spoiled brat, he is very, very spoiled and taken care of. And there are a lot of things that he doesn't like, and I was super scared, especially because he loves his stuffed animals. I think I've never seen a dog that doesn't destroy stuffed animal before having Holly, and he absolutely loves them. He's stole a lot of mine and he uses them. Like, he literally has them as support stuffed animal. He goes around with them and stuff. And when the company came to get him, I wanted to give them a stuffed animal so he could be happy with his stuffed animal and like be comfortable. And the guy that took him was like, no, he can't even have his collar on. And that's when I lost it. I was like, what if they lose my dog? I was so terrified. But everything went smoothly. He got to the US. The only thing we had to do once we got here was registering him with the city. So basically that's all it was. I would call it stressful, but it was stressful more for me. He was really good because they drugged him. They gave him pills to chill. So I don't think he really understood what was going on. But I was, for the whole time, other than the immigration checks and stuff, he was on the back of my head and I was really scared. But now I'm happy and he's here and he's living his best life in Colorado. So this is how they brought Holly to the US, and now I'm done. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share your opinions, and me and Ollie wish you happy holidays. I don't know if I'll post the upcoming week because I have a surgery tomorrow, so I'm not sure I'll be able to make a lot of videos. So yeah, bye. I'll see you. Say bye. Bye-bye. Bye.